Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start, okay? La paz, señor. First of all, welcome back, high school seniors and college students. I know, Soraya, you're a college student, and Betsy, I think you're a high school senior. We will be recording this and posting it on the APS website, which is aps.org, in case you guys want to access any of the links that we will be talking about. We will be posting it on there, also the PowerPoint as a PDF, okay? Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about how you can apply to college. We're also going to be going over a little bit about FAFSA, what it is, and also some ways that you can get access to some help to actually fill out the forms. We're also going to be going over the ACT, PSAT, and SAT, what it is, what are some of the differences, where you can get some help to do some practice testing, where you can get basically like the test, so you can test yourself, your times, and the problems also that will be on there. We're also going to be going over scholarships. That's going to be a big chunk of the PowerPoint. So I do advise you to write down some of the links that are more specific to you, but we will be having them on the APS website, like I said before, or the PowerPoint. We're also going to be going over some internships as well. Okay, so to begin applying to college for all seniors, what you should be doing this fall to be getting ready to apply to college, because we know everything that's going on with the pandemic. There's a lot of things that are being backed up or they're only online. So you should be looking up for ways to apply for FAFSA. The application opened this month, the 1st of October. And you should be filling that application and submitting all of your FAFSA to your chosen schools before the deadline, which is usually early February. After that, you will receive your student aid report, which tells you exactly what you will be receiving. And you can also submit any necessary corrections and send them back to FAFSA if there's anything that you need to fix. Okay, and then after you are done with all of your FAFSA application stuff, you need to start registering for SAT subject test, or ACT, whichever one the college that you are going to go to is requiring. Many high school students, they take these tests in their junior year, I believe, but if you have not taken it, if your school has not made this available to you, you can also schedule a test for yourself. And also, if you didn't do so good and you feel like you could do better, you can also take this test on your own, seek it out. There is a charge for these tests, but I know that if you're still in high school, your high school may be able to cover some of the funding for these tests. So after you do your FAFSA and you take your ACT test, the number one thing you should be doing at this point is applying to colleges already. You have to prepare your applications because there's essays, they want your SAT and ACT scores, they want your FAFSA information, and you have to pay attention to all of these deadlines because they do want all of this information by a certain time. And I would also ask your counselors or your teachers so they can help you submit any of these documents, because if you do need to get a letter of recommendation, you need to tell them with time so that you can meet those deadlines as well. And then after you already applied to your college of preference, you've taken your SAT and your FAFSA is ready, you need to continue applying to scholarships if you've already started. If you haven't, you must start already, because a lot of these scholarships, they have deadlines that probably already passed. But if you can find more because usually scholarships, you need to apply to them a year before you actually go into the school year that they are for. Okay, so this for spring, what you should be starting to do during your spring semester is you should start visiting these colleges. Right now, we know because of the pandemic, a lot of these colleges are not offering these tours, but I do know that there are virtual tours. You can go into any of the colleges that you want to attend, and you can look up virtual tours, and most of them have them. So you can see the grounds, and they also tell you about all of the programs that they have as well. You will also need to review your college acceptances and compare the college financial aid offers. For example, like if you get some more scholarships for one college or more aid for another college, you should start comparing which one is going to benefit you more. One of the tools that can help you do that is the compare financial aid offers tool that is on this link. And it helps you analyze which one is going to benefit you more if you are able to receive some of the financial aid. You also need to start contacting your school's financial aid office to get more help with scholarships. They usually have a lot of information and they can direct you to all the ways that you can apply for more scholarships if you are eligible for any of the merit awards that they are presenting to you, that they offer to students. And they can also tell you about deadlines, any paperwork that you're missing, and like I said, any of the aid. When you decide which school you want to attend, you need to accept basically that you're going to be going to that college. And many schools require this notification and deposit by May 1st. Okay, so now we're going to go over FAFSA. Many of you may already know a little bit about FAFSA, but this video goes over a little bit more about what it actually is, what kinds of other aids, because it's not just the scholarship and the grant or the money that you are available for, but it also has other schoolwork options. So I'm going to push this video so we can watch it together.
If you're interested in financial aid for college or career school, you're going to need to fill out the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. It takes most people about 30 minutes to complete online, and the best part, it's 100% free, and it provides you with access to grants, loans, and work-study funds from the federal government. And many colleges and states use FAFSA information to provide their own college or state financial aid. Before you fill out the FAFSA, it's a good idea to create your FSA ID, a username and password that lets you electronically sign your FAFSA and gives you access to various websites related to federal student aid. And here's an important tip. If your parent is providing information on your FAFSA, he or she will need his or her own FSA ID. Visit studentaid.gov/FSA ID for more information. Your FAFSA can be completed online at fafsa.gov, and help is provided throughout the online application process. You will need to fill out the FAFSA each year you are in school because your financial situation may change. Plus, you may be able to automatically transfer your tax data from the IRS, making the application even quicker to fill out. Each state and college or career school sets its own deadline for the FAFSA, so it's best to get it done early. Since some of the funds are available on a first-come, first-served basis, you don't want to miss out. Now that you know about the FAFSA, you might be asking, well, how much money will I get? Your college or career school will do the math, and there's a simple formula that they use. First, the college takes your cost of attendance, which is the total amount it will cost you to go to that school. Your cost of attendance will vary from school to school. Then, the college subtracts your expected family contribution, or EFC. Your EFC is based on information provided in your FAFSA and will not change based on the school you attend. However, the EFC is not necessarily the amount of money you will have to pay. Basically, your cost of attendance minus your EFC equals your financial need. Your college uses your financial need and other information to determine how much financial aid you can receive. See? Pretty simple. If you have questions or need more information, please visit studentaid.gov.
Okay, so I do want to mention again that all of this application, this FAFSA, is first come, first serve. So like I said, the application started in October. We have been sending out emails. Hopefully you have already started applying with the resources that we have given you. But if you haven't, please go as soon as possible. This is more information about how to fill out FAFSA. Before you start filling out your FAFSA, you need to get organized. This is also for college students because you do need to keep reapplying every single year. You need to get organized. Determine your dependency status, meaning if you are still living with your parents, if they can claim you, then you will be submitting their taxes. But if you are an independent person, you will be submitting your own taxes. You will also need to get the FAFSA worksheet. All of this is on their website, so they have you will be filling it out on the actual website. You need to search for school codes. You need to get your student and parents apply for a PIN if it's your first time. This PIN is basically for signatures. Since it's all online, this will be your signature, your electronic signature technically. So you need this PIN. You also need to check application deadline dates. And then you will submit everything that you have and you will get your results like I had said before. You will need to add 10 schools approximately on your FAFSA. You may, even if you're not attending all of them, the more options you have on there, the better. But when you already know which school you want, you can add or delete any of the school codes. This is some of the things you will need if you want to get help with your FAFSA application. You will need your FSA ID already done, your social security numbers for your parents and for yourself, your driver's license. It's not required if you don't have one. You also need all your tax returns and W-2s, which is your taxes. A lot of the new system right now, I think you can import some of your taxes so you don't have to do everything manually. If you are an independent person and you have more income other than what's on your W-2s, you will need your bank statements or assets, which is like stocks, bonds, investments, real estate, etc. You will also need your untaxed income. Like I said, this is only if all of this information is not on your tax returns or your W-2s, which for most of you, it will be on there. But in case it's not, that's what you will also need. You will also need your list of schools, even though you're not accepted. So you can have as many options as possible. And then when you have all of this put together, it will take you about 60 minutes and you will have to do it on the actual website. It does allow you to save everything, so you don't have to complete it in those 60 minutes, but it will take you around that time. And this is some of the information we've been sending out on the emails. This is FAFSA Help. They will help you fill it out, like show you like step by step what needs to be filled out. They will answer your questions. For high school seniors, Phoenix Union, they're offering these workshops. They started since October 1st, and they will be doing it every weekday in October from 3 to 5 p.m. This is only for high school seniors, but if you're a college student and you're renewing your FAFSA, or if you're a high school senior as well, but you weren't able to make it to these weekday workshops, you can also go with College Depot. And you can sign up for their FAFSA labs. Their last FAFSA for this week, for this month, is the 31st. It's from 2 to 3. There was one today, but that was early in the morning. And we will have these links as well on the APS website, which I apologize for saying the website wrong. It's actually apsphoenix.org. Phoenix is spelled out. Okay, and then where some other places that you can also get FAFSA help if you're not able to make it to any of those FAFSA workshops is also the FAFSA YouTube playlist, which is Apply for Aid. They have a lot of helpful videos, like that first video that we watched. I got it from their website. And they also have, for example, I have this one that says how to create an account, username, and password. They will go step by step with what you have to do. You can also follow their Twitter and their Facebook account. They post updated information and announcements, and they also post tips. If you have undocumented parents, it's okay. Your parents don't have an SSN number. You will just need to enter 000 for all of the spots. This just means that they won't be able to sign electronically. It doesn't mean that you can't complete the FAFSA application. It just means they won't be able to sign their portion of it electronically because the FSA ID is basically their signature. So what you will have to do is print out the signature page, and then they will have to sign it, and then you cannot fax it over. You will have to mail it to the Federal Student Aid Program at this PO box. This information will also be on the APS website if you're not able to jot it down right now. Okay, and then we will go on to speak about SAT and SAT. Some of the tips that I found for these tests are mentioned here. These tests are used for a lot of things. They're used for college admissions and also for a lot of merit-based scholarships, which we will see later on in the scholarship portion. Some of the scholarships, like you have to get a certain point to be able to get any of them. So one of the tips is to take plenty of time to prepare for the test. Even if you took it your junior year, and you think you did really bad, or you want to improve your score and you want to retake it, you should start taking into account that you do need to prepare for this test. So they recommend 3 to 6 months. You also have to take the practice test as often as possible. Time yourself taking the test in the designated amount of times. So if the test is 3 hours long, take one the first time that you're going to start practicing so you can see where you're averaging at. And then after you spend a couple weeks or months practicing, it's also recommended to take one at the very end when your test is coming up. So you see how you improved or what you need a little bit more tweaking on. You should also know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you think you're worse at reading than math, then you should probably take a little bit more time on the reading sections. Or if you think you need more help in math, and vice versa. You should also spread your study time over several days, weeks, or even months. That means that you're not going to be studying for the test like that week before. No, like you have to spread your time like 1 hour every day or every week, and then increase your time as the weeks and months get closer, so that this information or this study habit can stick in your brain better. You should also study in 30 to 40-minute intervals. You should take notes of some of the things that you feel you need to learn more of. You can also get a tutor or a study buddy if that helps you. And you can even form a study group. Some other things is put a study sheet or make flashcards, and also read newspapers, magazine articles, anything that will help you build your vocabulary. The SAT, I believe, has a bigger part on this, where they test you on some of the words. I don't know about the ACT. I never had to do a lot of vocabulary. And then you should also use written and print practice guides and test prep books and online resources. So if you're able to buy the book, the actual book where it has the test, you should buy it if you have the means. But there's also a lot of free resources where you can access these tests so you can practice. And we will also be going over that. So what are the differences between the SAT and the ACT? Some schools only require one. You should check which one your school is requiring for you. In general, the SAT is composed of reading and writing, and it also has mathematics and an essay, which is optional. The SAT, it has English, mathematics, reading, science, and the essay is optional. So the SAT, it has a science portion. That's one of the main differences. So the methods of scoring, I think that's also very important. So the scores for the SAT, they're based on the number of right answers. There's no penalty for guessing. And the SAT is based on the number of right answers as well. No penalty for guessing. This used to be backward a while back. I think the SAT did give you a penalty for guessing, but I believe they've changed that. And then for the SAT, your scores are out of 1,600. And the SAT, the average, they take the average of each quiz, of each test, I mean, and you get a number from 1 to 36. And usually for you to get any of the scholarships, you need to be above 20, like around 20 and above. So these are the SAT dates and deadlines for this year. There's a deadline for when you have to register for it, and also for when the test is going to be held. So you need to, if you want to take it, for example, December 5th, you have to have registered by November 5th. And then there's also deadlines for any changes, because like I said, you will be paying for some of these tests, or hopefully your schools can help you pay for it. But if you want to make any changes, if you want to change the dates, if you want to change anything, you will have to do it by November 24th so that you don't get charged for nothing. And then there's also subject tests for the SAT. If you go on this website, they will have more options and more information on those. This will also be on the APS website if you're not able to jot it down right now. Okay, and the SAT dates and deadlines for 2020 are the ones here. So the registration deadline is in orange, and the late registration is in blue. So if you want to take a test in September, well, September already passed, let's say December 12th, you register by the 6th of November. And the last day to change this registration in any way is the 20th. And then the next testing day is February 6th, April 17th. So if you're a college student, or if you're a college student and you're going to transfer and you want a better score, you should be starting to register for these tests. Like it is recommended, like I said on all of the tips before, that you study for at least 3 months. So I would recommend like choosing one that is farther out so you have more time to study. And then these are some of the online resources that we were able to find. They are all free. This Learning Express library, it's a service provided by the Phoenix Library. You will need a library card if you're accessing it out of their computers, which most of you will, because the library is closed right now. I wanted to include this picture of the actual website because when I was on there, it was a little confusing. I couldn't find it. But if you push on college admissions test, then all of the test options are available for you. And like you can see here, it has a SAT, the SAT, PSAT, and many other exams. There's also a college admissions essay writing if you need help with that. The Varsity Tutors, this site has more tests, and it also has like diagnostic tests, practice tests, flashcards for a lot more tests. It also includes the LSAT. If any of you guys are planning on becoming lawyers, you will need to take this test to get accepted into law school. So that's one free option right there for you. There's also this website, it's called Test Prep Practice. It's also a lot of practice tests. Okay, so now we will talk about scholarships. What we will be going over is programs that can help you pay for tuition and also institution scholarships. First, we will go over Maricopa Community Colleges, private universities, and public universities. A lot of these scholarships that will be given by the institution themselves, they will be merit-based, meaning you have to have a good GPA and you will have to have a good score on your ACT and SAT tests. Afterward, we will be going over organization scholarships. These are organizations that are in some way trying to help a certain group or a certain kind of student. So they could be private for any of you who are dreamers. This is one of your best options because a lot of the institution scholarships, they will be funded by the government. So that means you cannot apply for any of these. But organization scholarships, they do have some that are more private owned. And later, at the end, we'll be going over some databases and resources where you can go and find a list of scholarships so that you can apply for them. Okay, so first thing, programs. One of the first thing that I like to tell students is to work for the university or college that you will be attending. Most of them, if you work at least part-time or full-time for some of them, they will give you a huge discount for your tuition. For example, the ASU, they give you a 75% discount. And it's not just you. If your parent works there, they can also request this tuition reduction for you. If you work there and you want your child to attend or your spouse, then you can also apply for them. If you have a husband that works there or a wife that works there, you can also apply for them. And then it's not only for ASU, you can also take classes at U of A or NAU if you work at ASU. You must apply every year and you must be employed the first day of the session if you want to apply for tuition reduction. That's just one of the examples of working for a university and tuition reduction, but a lot of universities, they offer this discount if you work there. Another thing is working for an employer that pays college tuition. There's two ways that they can help you. They can either reimburse you, which means you will have to figure out how to pay your schooling, like either through scholarships or out of pocket. But these businesses, they will reimburse you for anything that you had to pay for a specific degree. Like a lot of them, they accept business degrees, accounting degrees, anything that will help them in their business, because you will probably have to promise them a few years of work after your graduation. And there's also other kinds of programs that they can help you pay for your tuition as you're attending school. For example, Starbucks, they have the College Achievement Plan. So you can work there 20 hours a week and you can earn your bachelor's degree if you want to take it online. So if you're an online student, there are a lot of programs, many bachelors of arts that can be completed online. You will only have to work 20 hours there at Starbucks. Another program that helps students with schooling is ERUP. This program does not pay for your school. This program is actually a school where it's a one-year program where they teach college students about business administration, marketing, IT, all of those business and tech programs. You must be 18 to 24 to apply. And they also help you get a job afterwards, but they also pay you for some of these classes because you will be working and studying at the same time. This program is DACA eligible if any of you are DACA students and you want a business administration, marketing, or IT degree. Okay, so for the institution scholarships, we have first the Maricopa Community Colleges. Some of the specific scholarships that they offer is the President's Honor Scholarship. It's for 4 consecutive semesters, but it is merit-based because you must be an honor student. You have to have a GPA of 3.25, and you must complete 3 credit honor classes and enrolled for 12 credits every semester in order to maintain eligibility, meaning that you can have this your whole 2 years that you're in this college, but you will have to take at least 1 honors class per semester. And you must maintain your GPA as well. And if you're a part of the honors program, there's also the Chancellor's and the Maricopa Foundation Scholarship. These, you can only be awarded one of these, but it's the same application. So you must be documented or an eligible non-citizen. The total for the Chancellor Scholarship is $250. It's for books and supplies. But if you get the Maricopa Foundation Scholarship, it's $1,000 in scholarship money. Okay. Some of the eligibility criteria for the President's Honor Scholarship is you have to have the school that you're going to go to, it has to be the first school that you attend. You can't have attended any other college or university. You must also have legal presence in the United States. So DACA students are not, DACA students are eligible. But you must also be a resident. And then if you're a college student, you probably won't be able to apply for this because you do need to apply within 1 academic year before graduating high school. So this would be more for high school seniors. For the Chancellor and the Foundation scholarships, you must be already enrolled. So that means that if you're a college student, you do have an opportunity to sign up to the honors program. You just have to make sure that you maintain your GPA, and then you must enroll to the honors program. And then every single semester, they will give you the opportunity or chance to apply to any of these 2 scholarships. And you must uphold all of the honors program criteria, which means you just have to take at least one honors class every semester. Some other scholarships that Maricopa Community College offers are district scholarships. These are publicly funded, so you will have to be a U.S. citizen. You can access these at this website, at this link. And you must also have your FAFSA application. So even if you think you're not going to be able to get any money because you think your parents or you make too much money, you should still fill it out because you might be eligible for some of these scholarships. And then there's also the Maricopa Foundation Scholarship. This one is DACA and undocumented eligible because they're privately funded. FAFSA and verified law presence are not requirements. So that means if you're DACA or undocumented, you can sign up for these scholarships. And then the foundation has 2 main scholarship cycles in March and September, meaning that the first one that was for spring, like right now, the last day to have applied to this scholarship was the 16th. So that has already passed. But if you are interested, you can sign up again. It's like one main scholarship that will help you, one main scholarship application that will help you apply for any other smaller scholarships. The next one will be starting March 1st, 2021. So if you completed an application during the fall, so if you complete the one that's in March 1st, you don't have to apply either. You don't have to apply as well in spring. So if you did miss this cycle, but let's say you had already applied the fall, it wouldn't have mattered. But since if you guys haven't applied yet, then you will have to wait until fall or spring of next year. And this is the link where you can access all of this application and all of the scholarships that are on this website. There's also the Grand Canyon University scholarships. There's a private university, so they do have some scholarships that are available for DACA students. For example, the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship, it's a neighborhood scholarship. It means it gets funding by the neighborhood. The last run of scholarships that they did was 2019. I believe that they have to get a certain amount of donations for it to be available. So right now, I saw on their website that they haven't renewed it. But if you're a DACA student and you need full tuition covered, you should keep on checking up on this scholarship because it covers all of your tuition for a bachelor's degree. Some of the requirements is that you have to have a 3.0 GPA. Like we said, you need some certain amount of scores on your SAT or your SAT. This one only wants your math and reading for the SAT. You must also have attended one of GCU's neighborhood participant schools, which are all the Phoenix Union High School districts. So if you attended any of these high schools, or Glendale High School, or Washington High School, and Burgate Catholic High School, you're eligible for this scholarship. This is a very important part of it. You must have completed a minimum of 100 hours of study time at GCU at the Learning Lounge prior to the application deadline. And hours can begin as early as freshman year. I don't know how this can work out for seniors right now, mostly, because college students are not able to apply for this. But seniors, if you're still able to make these 100 hours, you should look into this scholarship. And then these are some of the merit awards that I was mentioning. Like, for example, they have the chancellor IB, the president, provost, dean, faculty, antelope. All of these, they are publicly funded, so you will need to be documented, and they are merit-based, so you do need to have a good GPA or an SAT score, ACT or SAT. And then these are some of the high school student scholarships that you are able to get if you're still a senior. And these are for college students if you're planning on transferring there. They also have the president, the provost, the dean, the faculty, and the antelope. And this is if you're an international or gap year student. So if you took a break, you can still get some of these scholarships if you have a good GPA or ACT or SAT score. And you can request more information for more scholarships that they offer. All of these scholarships, they are renewable annually. So you can get the $6,500 every year if you get the president scholarship. You can request more information at this website for this school. For ASU, they have the Doran Community Scholars Program. It's a 4-year scholarship, and they continue to provide support. They may either assign you a mentor, or they can provide you any tutoring. This is also DACA eligible. And all of these links for these scholarships and programs, they will also be on the web. The Armstrong Family Foundation. This is if you are an orphan, a ward of the court living with extended family in foster care, but it's also a great scholarship if you do meet that requirement because it offers $8,000 a year at ASU. And it features monthly activities and events to enhance personal and professional development. These are also like GCU, they also have merit awards. These are for Arizona residents, but they also have some for transfers, or if you're international student or gap year students. I was only able to post this for the Arizona residents, but you can also go to this website, and not only do they have all the merit awards, they also have a search engine where you can put into it all of your information so you can filter out scholarships that are specifically for you. For example, you can put, if you're a transfer, what your major is, what your GPA is, and your enrollment status, meaning if you're resident, non-resident, and then specific scholarships just for you will show up so that you don't have to waste time looking through all the eligibility criteria for each scholarship. And then moving on to U of A, they also have these merit awards, the Wild Tuition Awards, the Arizona Tuition Awards, National Scholars Tuition, Dean's Exemplary Award. This is for seniors, if you're gonna be first year Arizona resident and non-resident, you can apply for these scholarships. If you're a transfer, if you're a college student and you want to transfer, these are some of the options. You can get the Pi Theta Kappa scholarship. You must have been a Pi Theta Kappa member to be able to receive this scholarship. There's also the transfer tuition scholarship, the bridge tuition scholarship. And then besides the merit awards, there's also another award that's called that is funded by the school itself. So it's the Distinction Award, the Excellence Award, and the Recognition Award. So you can start off as low as a 2.75 GPA, and according to your GPA, you can move up the ranks and you can receive this money annually for your tuition. U of A also has this search engine, which is called Scholarship Universe. It's a little similar to the ASU one. You can access a lot, it says millions of dollars in internal and external scholarships. So it also filters out scholarships that are just for you. For NAU, we have the First Scholars Program. This program is intended for first generation college students. That means that your parents could not, if your parents and none of your parents or your close family members attending college, that means you are eligible for this, and they will give you $5,000 every year. So for your 4 years, you can renew this scholarship. This scholarship is also DACA eligible. And then I also found on their website this spreadsheet that is private donor scholarships. So DACA students can also apply to this. And also if you're not DACA, you can also go ahead and apply. I just want to show you really fast here how they have organized all of this. So it shows the deadline, the scholarship name, the donor, the amount, the academic level. So if you're a high school student, if you're a college student, if you're a grad student, there are scholarships on here for you. And then it shows if it asks for a degree or any other requirements. It also shows the GPA minimum, essay, letter of recommendation, etc. Any of the other things that a scholarship may ask of you. Okay, and then they also have their merit awards that are publicly funded, which is the Lumberjack Scholars Award, the President Resident Scholarship, and these are the amounts that they offer. The first part is for the Arizona residents, which would be for freshmen, for you seniors, and for non-resident freshmen as well. For all of these scholarships, you are considered upon admission, and they are renewable for 4 years. So that means if you get the President Resident Scholarship, then you will receive $7,000 every year if you're able to maintain the eligibility criteria that they are requesting. And this is some for the Arizona resident transfers and non-resident transfers. Non-resident usually means DACA. So these are some of the awards that you can apply for. You can check the eligibility criteria for them here, because the other graphs, they show like what GPA you had to have, what ACT, SAT, but it doesn't show it on here. So you could go to this website, or you can also find more scholarships that they offer here, either publicly funded or privately funded. So for institution scholarships, I only showed the some of the Arizona scholarships that they offer, but you can go to any college that you're going to go to out of state or in state, and you can search their website. They will have their merit-based scholarships if you have a good GPA, but they will also have any other privately or group scholarship, like for example, the first generation scholarship. They will also have search engines like the NAU and the Arizona and U of A school, where you can filter out scholarships that are not for you, and you can go apply for the ones that are more detailed to your situation. Okay, and then the organization scholarships, one of the organizations that I like to recommend for Dreamers is the Dream US Scholarship. I have this scholarship currently right now. I'm a DACA student, but it's not just for DACA students, it's also for if you have a TPS, but it is tailored only if you're a DACA student, if you don't have residency. They have the National Scholarship, and they also have the Opportunity Scholarship. The main difference between these is depending which state you're in. The Opportunity Scholarship is for schools that cannot get in-state tuition, but if you're in Arizona, you will get the National Scholarship application, because even though Arizona does ask us to pay out-of-state tuition, most of these universities, they will allow you to pay a non-resident tuition, which means it's not exactly state tuition, but it's also not out-of-state, it's somewhere in the middle. So you can, if you're in Arizona, and you're a DACA student, you can apply for this scholarship. It will basically cover your whole degree. Like if you're a transfer, I was a transfer, they will give you $29,000 to finish your degree. That's for 2 years. And if you're a senior, if you're a senior, you have to be a senior, they will give you $14,500 for an associate's degree. Okay. And then some other organizations that offer scholarships is the Phoenix Union Foundation. This scholarship is established to provide college scholarships to students of the Phoenix Union High School District. So if you're a student at any of these college schools, high schools, you can apply to them. There's also the Arizona Community Foundation. It's the state's largest provider of private scholarships, and it's also DACA eligible. There's also the College Success Arizona, and the scholarship is for $6,000, and this scholarship is also DACA eligible. The LULAC and LNSC scholarship or program is a partnership with companies and grassroots organizations. They provide high needs students with scholarships. So these are some of the foundations that are mostly privately owned. I think the only one that wouldn't be privately owned is the Phoenix Union, but all these other ones, they're privately owned. So if you're a DACA student, you can also apply for these. For databases and resources, there's the scholarships A to Z. They have like the NAU list that we just saw, they have some similar list that helps all kinds of students, either DACA and non-eligible students, and also citizens. There's also the Immigrant Scholarship Hustle from Scholarships AZ and ALAS. It's also on the Scholarships AZ website, but this is partnered with the ALAS Foundation, and it's an immigrant, and they will train immigrant students to become self-sufficient scholars. It has 4 sessions, and they will receive writing skills, mentorship, financial literacy, and community support. The Isaac Amaya Foundation was created to guide and provide financial resources for students regardless of their immigration status. So they will also have a lot of these scholarship lists that DACA students are eligible for. There's also the Hispanic Scholarship Fund. This is open to Hispanic students, which is most of us, either if you're a citizen or not, or you're a DACA student, you can plan, if you plan to attend a university, you have to have a 3.0 GPA to get this scholarship. Other resources are the Phoenix Union scholarships. All of these scholarships will be on the College Depot website, but the scholarship info is here. They also have a DACA Pathline. If you're a Hispanic student and you want to find more scholarships that are more tailored toward that aspect of yourself, then you can go to this link and they will guide you through the different path that you can go through. And like I said, they have all of their scholarships in the College Depot. I also want to show this link. So if you push on view all scholarships, it will give you also a list. You can choose to filter it by education, identity, or award amount, or the deadline. The deadline is very important as well. So it's also a list, like the NAU list that I showed before, and it has the links already. So you can just go to the, if you see that you are eligible for that scholarship, you can go ahead and to the application right away and you just apply for it. And then College Depot also holds scholarship labs. You can go to this website here to register for them. They will be available every Saturday of November 2020. They're also available in Spanish, so your parents can tag along so they can hear about all the options. So for example, if you want to go out of state and your parents think that you can't afford it, but if you go here, they will get a bit more understanding of some financial resources or scholarships that you can apply for. We have scheduled a private scholarship lab for Dreamers for November 21st, specifically for Dreamers. scholarships will be tailored to them. So keep a lookout for that invitation. Okay, so going on to internships. Some Arizona Youth Force is a program where students from 16 to 19, they can intern. These are some of the flyers that they have. For example, the Crash Your Future with a paid tech internship. It's more toward the tech aspect, and also the Haskins Electric LLC, that's also more tech, but you can find things that are more tailored toward your interests, more internships at a Arizona Youth Force. But you do have to be 16 to 19, so that would be more for seniors. And there's also one for Jiffy Lube. Another internship that I have been sent of information about, like I said, I am the Dream US recipient, and they do help us by sending us all of this information of where we can find internships. This internship that they sent me, it's micro internships. You do small projects. They can range from sales, human resources, strategy, marketing, research, any of those departments. They are online, but unlike a traditional internship, these projects are usually 5 to 40 hours of work, and they are remote. So you don't have to actually go to any place. You would just be doing it online. An example of your salary would be if you work for 20 hours on a project, that would be around $360. So they are micro internships, they're not full-time. You may use your work authorization or a valid ITIN to be paid. So DACA students are also able to intern for these micro internships. So there's also internships for government. Some of the pros for working internships for the government is they give you a chance to make a difference, but you do need to be aware that making a difference is not a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint, meaning that it will take a long time and it will not be quick. They also give great benefits and they have competitive pay. You can choose the location, so it can be very local, and you can look for jobs of your interest. If you're into political science, any law degree, you can tailor it toward your interest. And you can also balance your life. They're very into keeping their work schedules so that it can allow you to leave early, go do your other stuff, so they don't make you stay overtime a lot like some other jobs. Some of the cons is that there are rules and regulations, so it is very strict. The hiring process is very long, and you do need a lot of prep because for example, your resume? Your resume needs to be tailored specifically to how they want to see it, since they do see a lot of resumes and applications. And also, you won't specifically get rich working for the government. What you will get out of it is the knowledge that you're making a difference in the world, because some of your work that you will be doing, it will affect real life government in our states or locally. So one of the tips for government internships is to network a lot. You can connect with government leaders through their sites. You can also go to the ICMA, which is the International City or County Management Association sites. If you are going to attend WP Carey, which is an ASU, there is a career counselor that specifically helps you connect with these internships. You can also add people on LinkedIn, people that are alumni in government. And there's also a lot of personal websites for all 50 states. So you just need to get exposed to that world and try to connect to them through any of these websites or platforms. If you're attending ASU, the WP Carey School has options. The McCain Institute, it's an internship in Washington with 8 different programs. So you will be traveling to Washington, D.C. Mostly over the summer. There's also the McLeaps Maricopa County Leadership and Education Advancing Public Service Internship. It offers career relevant work experience, networking, and academic credit. So if you are able to intern, you will be awarded full tuition waiver and a $5,000 stipend. And also the Inside Out Prison Exchange Program. This is offered by the Criminology and Criminal Justice School at ASU. It offers it in conjunction with the Arizona Department of Corrections, Rehabilitation, and Reentry. So if you're into criminology and that's where you're going to be majoring in, you should look into this internship program. But if you are not going to ASU, but you are going to a university, these are some of the programs that you are eligible for. The Arizona Legislative Internship Program. It will also give you a full tuition waiver, a $5,000 stipend, and up to 12 hours of undergrad and 9 hours of grad toward your degree. You must apply to your university. Like I said, for all of these, you do have to be part of university already. There's also the Capital Scholars Internship Program. This is a 9-week summer program in DC, so you will have to travel over there, and all majors are welcome. The U.S. Department of State Student Internship Program is unpaid, but it will match you with your interest. So it's a little bit more detailed. You don't get stuck in with only one department. You get to experience the different departments in this internship. There's also the Office of Investigation Student Internship Program. It's related to criminal justice, but you can also apply if you're interested in international affairs, foreign languages, and even accounting. Corporation for National and Community Service event. It will be held very soon. You do have to apply for this event. In this event, they will be sharing information about different kinds of internships that are in government. So some of these might be repeated, but there's a lot more that you can be eligible for. And you do have to be 17 to 26 to apply. There's also another option if you go on their website. All of these links will be on the APS website, but there's also other options if you're over 26 or if you're in grad school. There's other events that will be specifically tailored for you. So some tips for applying to these government jobs or internships is to utilize a federal resume. Most of these internships require you to use that format. So if you are interested and you want to start prepping, you should go to this website where they help you make a federal resume. The federal resume usually requires more detail, and most places that you go to where they help you to make your resume, they say keep your resume short and make it only 1 page, but you will need to make it more than 1 page for these federal resumes because they do want more detail. You also need to complete any requested forms or questionnaires that accompany resumes. So they do take a while. they do take a while to respond to you. So you have to keep checking if they send you any of these forms or questionnaires afterward. And then you should also use the KSA, Knowledge, Skills, Abilities method for application essays. You can look up more info about that method here on this link. And like I said, you do need to prepare to wait because they do take several months to get back to you. And if they do get back to you, they do send you these forms or questionnaires that you have to send. So don't assume that you've been rejected just because it's been a month. If you do want to get an update, you can follow up with the agency, go ahead and give them a call. And also make sure to keep a copy of everything you submitted, because since they do take a long time to respond to you, you might forget everything that you put on your resume. And then when you're in the interview, they might go back to your resume and you might be a little bit confused about what they're talking about. But if you have it with you, if you go over it before you go to the interview, you should be ready for any of the questions. Okay, and then there are also internships with nonprofits. These are some of the best platforms I was told to internship with. I want to show this one right here because I was told this was the best of the best. So I want to show this as well. So this website, you can search their newsletter and you can search their job board, anything that has to do with the community. And they also have podcasts about any of the jobs and internships that they have available. And this one's the National Council of Nonprofits. So this is also a platform that has a lot more nonprofits together. I can't find what I'm looking for. But they had a list similar to the scholarship list that I showed before. They have these. One of these is a platform of a bigger nonprofit organization. So you can go to it and you can see what they're about. A lot of nonprofits, they are usually supporting some cause or some social cause. So if you're more interested in sustainability, then you will go to work with or intern with these nonprofits. If they're planting trees, if they're farming, if they're et cetera, et cetera. But these are some of the main platforms and websites that you can go to look for internships. All of these links, they will be available again, like I said, on the APS website. Okay, and then that's all the information I have for you. We will be posting this presentation, so if you weren't able to get any of the links or any of the scholarship names or internship programs, you can look for the PowerPoint on the apsphoenix.org. Phoenix is spelled completely. So you can, after a few hours, maybe give us like 2 hours after our last PowerPoint, after our last presentation to upload. And you can come back, and I will also be posting a PDF with specific links that will also include some other resources where I got my information from as well, if you are interested. So we want to thank you for coming. And if you have any questions, right now we will be answering any of your questions. I will look on the chat. Yes, they will be available in the website, all of the scholarships, all of the links. We will be posting the PowerPoint video, the PowerPoint slides, and also a PDF with just the links. Are there any questions about any? About any parts of the presentation?
All right. Well, I think, Noemi, that you were very, very thorough in today's information. God pay you so much. Everybody, round of applause for Noemi. What we're going to be doing then next is offering our help with any of the process, as you saw, any of the steps, right, to apply to college. So stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, make sure to fill out our survey. It's also on our website, so apsphoenix.org. You can submit any questions. And what we'll do now is we'll take a recess, meaning all those of you who are connected can kind of connect out. Our broadcast is being broadcast live on YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to end that broadcast and also just take a recess. And on this very same Zoom link, you'll be able to see the juniors workshop. So go ahead and everybody thank Noemi and check out our website within I think like 24 hours, just to make sure that we have enough for our editors to upload those big files. As you guys saw, that was a lot. So anyways, well, adios to everybody, and then we'll stop our recording here.
All right.
God pay you, God bless.
Amen. God pay you, Noemi.